be safe to inform you or whatever.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure
Yeah,
some of the
sometimes just finally.
Yeah. I always say that when you get a response of "we regret to inform you," that's actually something positive that your CV has been received and somebody has reviewed it. And that's where you start to create a relationship. Looking at job hunting, for me, job hunting is not just about you applying for sending out your CV. It's about how you approach it, the strategy that you use, as well as the connection that you make throughout the process of job hunting. So when you send an application and you don't get a response, that's red flag number one on your CV, because your CV is the first thing that the the recruitment agents or the talent acquisition specialists are going to receive. And if there's no response at all, either your CV is not received by the company or your CV is not received well, which then you have to reflect on how you are approaching the job seeking. So reflection is very, very important. Although during this time of job hunting, it can be very taxing emotionally, and it can also be financially draining because sometimes you have to use your money when you're applying for a job. But one thing I've seen with a lot of my clients, what I see differently from one client to the next is the amount of confidence that they have in themselves when they're applying. Um, One would be more of I know I'll get a job. I don't care about what people are saying about South Africa, that, the unemployment rate is increasing every single day. You look at yourself as a special candidate that is going to get a job. And you having that approach that you are going to find a job, that's where also mainly, I mean, God has to will intervene as well, when you are so confident and when you speak positively about it as well, you are going to get it as well. And a timeline is also very, very important. You cannot apply with the same CV for a year. You cannot use the same email drafts for for a year. So that's why reflection is very, very important. The people that I meet or who were in who were in the mentorship program, who've gotten jobs now, are people that I engaged with, and their approach, even the conversation that we have already after leaving the meeting, I know this one is going to find a job. I saw another one recently found a job also. It was like really quite exciting to see that, where you're saying that, okay, we've engaged and I know after this person is going to find a job. But looking at that, looking at where we are in South Africa, unemployment rate, this is like adopted from last year, where it is over 30%. And then I think for youth is over 40, I think 60% or 40, 60. Can somebody correct me on the numbers? But but it's so high that when you are also thinking of job application, you are also already having that mind blockage that you're not going to find a job because other people are not finding jobs. So who do you think you are that is going to find a job? And then secondly, Riranzo also mentioned that there are people that are getting retrenched. So currently, when you're applying for a job, you're competing with people who are qualified, way qualified. And if you are a graduate, companies are more likely drawn to people that are have been retrenched, have experience, and are looking for also applying for a graduate program or an internship, because when they get hired, then they're able to add more value than an freshly graduate is going to add. So when you are looking at yourself, positioning yourself for a job market, you have to also consider those different circumstances that, okay, this is the picture of me as a freshly graduated candidate, or this is a picture of me who's graduated maybe in the last 2 years or 3 years, and I'm currently struggling to find a job. Who are my competitors? So it's the same as the companies when they've got a product, the way they position themselves, they look at their competitors. Who am I competing against? And this time you're not looking at yourself as just a graduate alone. The companies are struggling in South Africa also to to generate revenues. And government is also pushing for the companies to take interns. And now, who are they going to take? Where they know for sure they're going to get tax rebated. They will take people that are qualified, who were retrenched, who are willing to settle for not for way less. So you have to also think of those scenarios and look at how you're going to position yourself. And just looking at how CV itself, you have to look at CV as your personalized marketing tool. So I always say, when you look at a CV, your CV is a selling catalog. When you are trying to buy something online, what draws you to buy what is online is what you see, the product that you see, the adverts. So when you're doing your CV as well, you have to put it as an advert, the way you structure your CV, the template that you use, the language that you use there as well, because what you have, which is different from the other candidates, what is going to be your experience could be the same as the other candidates that are applying for the same job. Um, your qualification could be the same as the other candidates that are applying for the same job. I mean, most of the jobs have got similar job description and also qualifications required that you would be applying for, which means your competitors are going to have the same CV template as you. And currently, when you see like with AI, most CVs templates are the same. And now, when you are also applying, you have to be thinking of the person who's receiving your CV. Are they going to receive, if you are using exactly the same copy that you get from chat, the first question that you ask yourself is my CV going to be received well if it's exactly the same template from chat? The language that is there, you can tell that it's coming from chat, it's not personalized. Is this something that is going to be received if it's exactly the same thing as something that is coming from chat? And looking at how when you're applying to go and add value in the company, although you're also applying to learn as well. So now, if I'm in the hiring position, I need to see a CV that is going to say that this person, I know they're going to add value. This person, I know they're going to, to work well with me. And I think one of the most frustrating thing when, or currently, actually, not even going to the most frustrating things, looking at the skills that you will showcase, I'm sure currently with AI, you can put your job description from a job advert. Sorry, you can put a job advert, you put your CV and you say they align. And now looking at the skills that are showing there, try to look for skills that would be different. And your skills should also show that you are AI savvy, because that's where the like most, that's where actually all companies are going towards. Like, I think in my company currently, we've got so many sessions on AI, how to utilize AI, how to create agents, how to, just so many things to make our job easier. And if your CV is also depicting that, that is the skill that is different, where people are drawn to maybe hiring you as well. And one thing that I always say you can use as a marketing tool for yourself, LinkedIn, where you are also talking about AI as your experience. I think I had a session with Malebu last month, I think, and she spoke about Claude. I was like, wait, what is Claude? She was like, when I put my CV on Claude, it actually also matches the company's colors and branding, and immediately when I went back to my PC, I searched Claude and I see what it can do, and I was like really, really amazed. But now this is also something that when you are doing your CV, you start improving. Okay, no, I'm not. I must not only use ChatGPT. I must not only use um, um DeepSeek. I must not only use OpenClaw. Okay, all these tools, you must use them. They must complement each other. But this is like where you are highlighting your skills, but also your personalization has to come out as well. Looking at how your application is, this one, I think every candidate that I talk to, they always tailor their CV to match the role that is advertised. So I think this part is pretty much clear for everyone right now, I'm assuming, right? I hope you agree. So now looking at the CV crafting myth. We've got so many things that people will tell you, don't do this on the CV, don't do that on the CV. Some will tell you, don't put a picture, don't put your address, don't put your language, don't put hobbies, don't put um your CV must be 2 pages. Don't put matric education. Don't put date of birth. Don't put criminal record. It becomes so overwhelming as a person where you are being told every single day, don't put this, don't put that, don't put marital status, don't put references. And now you end up getting confused when you're applying that now, what is it that I must put on my CV? And, it also goes to the right template to use. You're going to be told, this is the right template, that's the wrong template. This is what you must use. And as a person who's applying, this is one of the things that are adding onto your stress because you end up not feeling confident that you'll ever find a job because anything that you do, someone says it is incorrect. And the truth is with CV writing, it's not about what people are saying you must put and what you must not put on the CV. What matters the most is the receiver. People are different. Currently, there are some hiring managers who prefer your CV on an PowerPoint presentation. Some they still want the old way of doing your CV. Some they want audio on your CV. When you put like create your CV, you put an audio. Some they want a picture, some they don't want a picture. But what is necessary the most is not focusing on the quantity, the amount of jobs that you're applying on a daily basis, but you're focusing on the quality that you put out. That's why when you find one job, it's important that you try and personalize it to looking at who are the hiring people. In the last session when we spoke, someone was talking, I think when we briefly touched on job hunting, we spoke about LinkedIn that when you are applying for a job and it's coming from LinkedIn, look who are the hiring people from the company that you're trying to apply for. And I think Murunga made a great example that if you are vendor, for an example, look for somebody that is vendor that is working in the company as well and try to ask them more about the company so that it's easier for you to tailor your CV based on what the company could be looking for because a CV template is very personal preference based on what the manager prefers, not based on what you think could be what the manager would like. So that's why learning the industry is very, very important. And looking at personalizing your content, as I mentioned before, put in your style, put in the style that represents you, that does not say that, oh, this is just AI. And, using AI is not a problem at all, but it has to complement your personal style as well. I think that's why if you are currently using ChatGPT, it's also important that you can export the information or your log history from Chat GPT to put it into Claude because then the continuous style of your information, everything can be continuous, and then it's not like the same as what other people have when you are doing your CV. And reading, there's somebody's mic that is opened. I'm not sure what it is. Mm, yeah. So looking at this, for an example, I'll just mention some of the things here. A picture. The reason why I would not put a picture on my CV, it is because I'm a female in engineering. And when somebody looks at my appearance in engineering, could feel like I don't think she could be technical enough to perform a specific job. That's why on my side, I would omit a picture. There are some roles where your maybe your personality, your looks are more important. That's where, I could put a picture. So there are some companies, or rather some jobs adverts that will say, put a picture. You have to put a picture there. So that's why reading a job description is very important, and tailoring your CV based on the requirements on the job description. Putting your language there, it could be important if they are saying that these are the languages that they want on the job advert. Putting in for an example, your metric education. I know the company that I work for, they usually say you must have metric. There's a reason why they also include that part. So putting it when it is required as um, something as a prerequisite and a qualification, it's important that you include it, because you may feel like you may hear people saying that the fact that I've got a degree, it means that I've got a metric certificate. Some people, they get degrees from, I think it's called prior learning experience, where you can apply with that, where the company can give you the prior learning certificate, and then you are able to use that. And the date of birth. Date of birth can also be important, because some jobs are for, they would specify between the age of 19 to 35, for an example. So if you then omit that information, you're omitting an information which is very, very vital for them to hire you, as it is specified. That's what they're looking for. Criminal status. Criminal status, if that's what they're saying on the job adverts, you must have no criminal record included when that's what's required. And then looking at the number of pages to have on the CV, this as well is dependent on your experience. When I was looking for an internship, I think my CV had probably 2 pages, depending on the template that I was using, because I also had some experience before. But that experience does not carry over. I don't use it now when I'm looking for a job. When I'm looking for positions now, because it's not relevant anymore, or I don't want my CV to be too long. Now looking at the templates, I shared a template of what you can use on your CV. I think Murungwa mentioned that that template helped her as well. So what I like to use is Zeti. I actually put Zetu. It's Zeti. So what I like about Zeti, you can just upload your CV, your current draft, and then it can generate a CV from your current information. I'm trying to generate, I don't know why it doesn't want to work, but it can generate your CV from your current information, and then you can choose from different templates that you can use. This can give you a better outlook than what you can maybe get from the other chat bots. The difference between Zetu and chatbot currently is Zetu is designed for CV. Although now, like chats are currently capable of doing anything, like now they've got that capability, but I would still recommend you to use Zetu, because you can still personalize it as much as possible, looking at the different templates that they have. And from the template that I sent you, I think what is nice about it is what it reflects. On the side, it reflects your skills, Let me just check if I can be able to open it with my busy screen. Downloads, CV. Yeah, I have it here actually. So what is great about this template is that immediately when somebody sees your CV, they're able to see a summary of who you are, your qualifications, your um, profile summary. Everything is depicted there. What is important in including address, currently a lot of companies are forced to hire within a specific radius. So if you are based in the Eastern Cape, there are more companies are forced to hire candidates that are based in the Eastern Cape because of that reduction of the unemployment rate in their province. They also have a target that they have to meet, and also the employment equity also forces that. So now, when you're applying for a job and you're based in Limpopo, more especially for an internship, it's also important that you also look at like your address, that you're not just applying for a job that is in Cape Town and then you're based in Limpopo and hoping that you are going to get something. It is possible. However, chances are more higher if you're applying for a job in the same province because of now this radius that is then expected. Looking at the qualification, that part is also very important. If you are currently doing you just finished and you are looking for an internship, companies are hiring based on your marks. I remember when we were hiring before, the first prerequisite would be 65%, but now looking at the candidates who've applied to try and narrow down the the candidates, we would look from, okay, who has the highest marks, and then it would be the average would be 80, 90, and then they would take from that. So that's why creating relationships is very, very important. When you send that CV, please accompany it with an email. I know there's that email usually at the end of the advert that is saying that if you don't hear from us after 30 days of your application or the closing date, consider your application unsuccessful. Don't really follow that. Be that special person who is going to email the people that I would like to find out if you have received my CV. I have emailed it and I'm very much interested in working for the company. I'm interested in, excuse me, in working for this job, and also include what value you're going to add in the company and also what you're going to learn from the company as well. Because it's not just about, now we are in the era of just learning. We're consuming more, we're doing more of the learning than applying, than applying ourselves, I must say, with the era that we're in. But this is what's nice about this template. You can also include your picture if you want to include your picture. You can include you can exclude your picture as well. You can add your professional summary. From objective and professional summary, I honestly prefer a professional summary, because a professional summary is a summary of what you've done. If you are looking for, if you've got like your previous experience, it's then depicted on this first page as a summary. Unlike your objective, sometimes objective can be can feel like oh, I don't think I want a person that is this ambitious into my team. But now when you have put in your professional summary, then it's much better. Gender, currently, if you are in, I think, male dominated industry, like in terms of your qualifications, always include your gender, because employment equity, gender is very, very important. In your CV, it's very important that you include that. Nationality, um, no, not nationality. Is it ethnicity? I think it's ethnicity, hey? Nationality can be South African. Yeah. Ethnicity, very, very important. Companies have got numbers that they must achieve in terms of like the hiring the previously disadvantaged group. So that is also very important. So that's why also when you're looking at the company that you're trying to work for, what is their I mean, triple BEE status? And then you see, okay, it seems like they're still looking for people because the government has got the mandate that this is the target that they must achieve. If they don't achieve, they get penalties. So, when you're doing your application, that is also very important when you're in that stage where nothing is working at all. But this is more of a high level. And then your skills, please put something that is related to you. Currently with LinkedIn, a lot of information of your information is there. Instagram, some of the managers would go and explore your social media, or sometimes they can even put in chat and see who is this person. Show me like their portfolio, and then they can find if something is not matching. Sometimes they can feel like, well, I don't think this person can. I mean, it can look like you lied about your CV as well, and this can never be standard. You always have to adjust. Um, Looking at how you can use chat for your CV, I think in my previous session with one of the mentees, I was asking if they upload their CV to look for jobs that are matching their CVs, and they said it's something that they don't do. So with this one, you see, like what I've triggered, what I've prompted, I've attached my CV, and I said find me jobs matching my CV in South Africa, and the contact details that I can call directly after applying, or email, which is important. I never send my CV without having a direct email or somebody that I can call to find out if they have received my CV. When you call or when you send an email, your name is triggered, and then it rings onto the person's mind that, oh, this person called, therefore I must look for their CV, and I have to then consider them into maybe the candidate that will be selected. And then chat is able to give you those companies, I'm sure. And then looking at another prompt, find me a reputable agent who can help me get a job based on my CV or your qualification. If you have just recently graduated, I'll make an example with Ananda for an example in HR, and you're looking for an internship, you can use an agent that is going to help you with placement. A lot of my clients that have used an agent, they have gotten jobs easily because now the agent, you are their customer as well. If your CV, actually, one thing that I also forgot, if you're before I forget, if you are applying for an internship, please include your modules here as well as your results. If your results are good, if they're not good enough, you've got the 50s, don't include them, omit them, just include your modules. So what is important about your modules is also your major selections. It also broadens your job search or your job market. And if you don't have a lot of experience, include your modules as well so that your CV is also expanded, which is also very, very important that when somebody looks, okay, these are the majors that they did during their qualifications. And I'll make an example with me. For an example, maybe when I was doing my post grad, one of the modules that I chose were production, for an example. If somebody sees that, okay, she's also done production, then maybe from my previous qualification, I do not have anything that is relevant to production, then they are more drawn to hire me because they see that I've also done the theoretical part of production. So going back to using an agent, this is very important. Some of the questions that I get frequently, do I have to pay an agent? Usually the agents are paid by the companies. They also have got their own company that they need to place good candidates into the company. So which is also very, very important. For me, if you're also doing your CV, you can also put me as your referee I'm allowing you guys to put me as your referee. But also, what is it that you would want me to be used as your referee? Um, I think this is also another thing that maybe agents would do as like a background research on their side if this is the person that they can work with. But this is like most also the fastest way that can help you find a job. And when you put on chat, it will also give you the recruitment agents that you can also call. And then looking at another prompt, used different things that I mean, don't rely only on one AI platform. Use multiple for different things because the answers that you will get is can be different. I saw something who had put someone put ChatGPT for thinking. And then there was another one, I forgot what it is, and then what they said it was, and then Claude is for validating. And really, when you look at all this different AI platform, how they complement each other, you can also use that to complement your job hunting strategy. And then I see here they're giving me peanuts. I don't like to use peanuts, honestly. Sometimes you don't know if your CV has been received or not received. But under peanuts as well, you can find um, the direct agents that are uploading into peanut as well. You are able to track that. But if you look at this, these are different companies that then, for an example, in automotive, you can call, you can like make it your assignment that today I'm going to call 3 agents that are going to help me find a job. I will call them, tell my story. Your story is very important. Like people are not only interested in just you having your qualification and also just your experience. What is your story? That's what would make you sell when you are trying to look for a job. People would be drawn more to how they can connect with you. And looking at LinkedIn as well, email inbox those guys. Some will respond, some will not respond. And the draft of your LinkedIn as well, it should not be way too long way when somebody opens that maybe I would have a draft of a job that I did before. I'll try to send it before. But with LinkedIn, make it interesting when you're approaching people because people are also bored that another one just asking for a job. Make it more interesting. I just want to check in if somebody has got a question before we move on. I think I'm almost done. Anyone with a question? Okay. Um, Now looking again on some of the things that before they were really like the biggest things that or a buzzword. Make sure that your CV is ATS compliant, like ATS friendly, application tracking system friendly. Currently with AI, I don't think there's still such, and I'm still seeing videos of that. And I'm sure these are some of your worries where you are still asking yourself, is my CV ATS friendly? And then showcasing your achievements is also very important to your CV. Your achievements can be from being a prefect in high school, because that also depicts your leadership. If you maybe would like to grow into a leadership position based on where you are currently, there are so many things that you can put on your CV to sell that sometimes you feel like maybe this is not necessary. I think I was also talking to one of the mentees who did not put one of the qualifications they are busy with. And I'm like, that's what people would hire you. And I remember in my previous job, I was hired based on my qualification, which was in progress. And it was more of we're giving you, um, we're hiring you at this salary, but once your qualification is finished, then we will give you this salary. So the timeline, guys, timeline is very important. If you're applying today with one CV template, track how many responses you're going to get. And as Zananda said, that she gets a rejection. When you get that rejection, look at the email. If the email is a no response, no reply email, which company is sending you the no reply email? You can also call them to say, hey, I've been trying to apply for a job and I got a rejection. I would like to find out where I can improve for, when other opportunities are available, and also ask them to put your CV in the database. So it's really all about relationship building. Once you have that conversation, it is possible that next time when the role comes up, they can consider you. I remember when I was looking for a job this side, it was not a matter of just sending my CV. It was, okay, who is HR that is based in this country? Finding HR, calling them to say, hey, I'm looking for a job, and can you also send my CV around? And then also going to people that are working in the company that could have connection in the other side, going to them, hey, I'm looking for a job in this place. Do you have any contacts there? So those are some of the conversations that you must have, that can help you get a job. And then we've spoken about AI. Now, I mean, that's where we are. But please, when you draft your email, don't draft it from AI and you put it as it is and then you send it, because people get bored when they see that now you are talking, the language that you're using is like really the jargons, AI jargons. It's like you've done nothing from your side. Try to personalize as much as possible. That's why putting in your story, it is important. Hi, I've been job hunting for the last 6 months. I have graduated with this percentage, and I would yeah, I'm looking for a job, and like put it in a way it's more personal, not more AI way. Hi, I hope you are well. Once I see I hope you are well, I know it is coming from one of the chats. So please remove that part because it shows. And then I spoke about prompting, which is very important. And then your CV template, it can show where it is coming from. Imagine as a receiver, you are receiving the same templates throughout, and that's what the talent acquisition specialists or hiring managers are receiving currently because of chat. So try and move away from this. This could also be one of the reasons why you are also not getting shortlisted. But yeah, other than that,